I can't believe I haven't found anything yet. There have been thousands of makers before me. You'd think one of them would have fiddled around with the soul before.
It feels like everyone and everything around me remembers where they've come from better than I do. But the only memory I'm concerned about is that of the storms. Where do they come from? And where do they go?
Honestly, I'm trying to make more friends. Some I can only hear. But they'll be here soon enough. After all, that's what summoning's for, isn't it? I'd love it if you could be my friend too.
The thing is, I can't help but wonder. Without all of those pieces, even just one or two, who would you become? And the people for whom those pieces are gone, who have lost the parts of themselves that magic has decreed one small piece of a whole, what happens to them?
And hey, hi, howdy, welcome to Session 6, halfway through the game, of Fraying Threads, an Invisible Sun campaign created by Monica Games. I'm Mare, I use they, she pronouns, I am your game master, and I am playing everyone that my players are not. As always, we're going to go around, say, hey, hi, who you are, who you're playing, and any downtime that might have happened between last session and this one. We're going to go in a clockwise direction today. So that's going to be Kian.
I was literally just like, oh, I should check what I did during downtime. Hello, everybody. I did do a lot. Hello, everyone. My name is Kian. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. You can find me on Twitter at uptight_chiffon. Tonight, I am playing Aspen Thane, who is a connected gallant of the Order of Makers who walks with a secret companion. Following the chaos of last session, the most important thing, I am not cursed. I can see everybody else's faces as their own face, not as my own face, which is really exciting. I was able to check in on, what's their name?
Times
and Roman about the Hearts of Worlds, to kind of get a sense of what these are, where to find them. And basically he directed me toward the abstraction, and you kind of have to just find one, and if you acquire one, the world will die. The half-world will die. So Aspen now has this knowledge and is probably not going to share it with people yet, because they're not quite ready to. I did spend some time using my little demonic snow globe to spy on Adastrea. It's very mean. It showed me, I get a bad memory every time that I use it. The bad memory this time was receiving the phone call when my friend had died. So Aspen is a little bit sad about that, but I am also noticing that Adastrea is probably coping with a lot of drinks, even in her own home, privacy of her own home. We're going to see where that one goes. I'm really excited about that as well. I think, Mare, unless I'm forgetting something, those were the two big things that I covered.
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. That's me.
Gilly.
Yes. Lace left the party early. So Lace, hi, I'm Gilly. I play Lace. Are we doing the character sentence introduction?
Yeah, I forgot to say it, but yes.
Okay. I am a bizarre ardent of the Order of Weavers who splinters into fragments. Would you like to do Aspen's again? No. Yes.
I did mine.
No. You did yours. I must have blacked out during that. Okay. So Lace left the party early, so had no idea what happened after she left. When Ray asked her to leave. She has been like basically skulking around at home for a little bit, and Shard has departed for parts unknown. But Shard is wealthy, so Shard could have gone on an all expenses paid vacation and, you know, like, whatever. So she and Shard have some conflict right now. Or I guess a lack of conflict because he's not here. And the Lace has been studying to advance within her order. She went to go see Sophrona because this is kind of the thing where you just like go over to your friend's house and like try to sort of pump them for information. But we had tea. No, we had coffee.
We had coffee.
We had coffee.
No tea here.
And no tea here. It was very nice. And we'll get to what Sophrona knows and has been up to when we do. But after that, Lace went to go see the place that she saw in her vision back at the festival, and went there. Should I explain what I saw there, or is that something we'll get into? Basically, there's a bunch of vines there that have been there for months, was I believe the word that was used.
Sometime. It's not new, but they weren't there last time you were there.
Yeah, which is concerning because of reasons. And she's made no progress with her time magic theory about being her own evil twin, but you know, time has passed. She also ran into Ray there, which I will let Vic explain what happened there. But other than that, she's basically been skulking around within her cliff. The end.
Victor.
Hello, my name is Victor. I use he, they, and they pronouns, and my character is Ray, who is a bizarre ardent of the Order of Goetica who disgorges creatures. And during my downtime, Ray was like, fuck this house, and went to go research stuff in the Goetic Order and decide that if summoning caused this problem, summoning can probably fix it, and has like put like all of his like focus in on like getting further in the order, as well as trying to find where Songbird is and like collect Songbird before it causes more problems. And so the reason that Ray found Lace was because he was following a hunch of a big vine, but it doesn't have Songbird's sentience in it, so it's not Songbird. However, Ray was like deer in headlights when he saw Lace, and Lace apparently was also like and Lace was gracious enough to say hello, and Ray was like, hi, I'm busy, I'm trying to fix things, but I hope we can hang out soon, bye. And has been discovering a bunch of things about the different pieces of Songbird that are littered around the city that Ray is like taking and trying to rehome in the bog. And that's what Ray's been doing. Ray's been sleeping at the Goetic Order instead of home, because Ray's because if a certain person showed up at Ray's home, I don't think it would go well.
And last but not least, Gena.
Hi, I'm Gena. I use she, her pronouns. I am playing Sophrona, also she, her, who is an established ardent of the Order of the Vance, who is adored by the sea. Oh yeah. What I did in downtime, actually did a bunch of things as well. Talked to Lace. Lace came to visit, coffee as mentioned, to commiserate mostly. Sophrona did tell Lace that, you know, she casually looked into like doppelganger stuff a while back, but we can't prove that they do exist. but maybe they do. I don't know. It's not necessarily useful, but who knows? What else had I done besides that? I had gotten from my friends at the Order of the Vance a contact who maybe make me some weed be gone, as it was described. That might come up, but I have a phone number on a card, which is very strange since phones are not really used.
They exist. They're just not common because ghosts tend to eavesdrop, the nosy motherfuckers.
But now I have a phone number to make some weed be gone in a very seedy place. We're gonna have to investigate that. I also, while looking into Emerin, revisited the memorial in Lower Taverswood, and I found our flower-headed friends, matching actually a description that the Unseen Children had drawn, and refound our books. I don't know if I have returned them yet, but I definitely had them in possession at one point. I have some new friends. And I am also casting a spell, but that's for now. Today. Mostly information finding.
All right. As always, thank you very much, everybody. As always, Invisible Sun has mature themes, but the ones we explore, will be exploring in our game are okay, thank you, Mubot. I'll just say them. In our game, we have manipulation and some body horror. Those are the big ones. Maybe a little bit of substance abuse from an NPC, but body horror is the big one right now. And if you like what we do have a tip jar. So we got a pally. It gets split up between all of us because, Twitch takes a big cut, but that goes directly to us if you would like to support us. All right. Anyway, we have the start of the game now that all of our introductions and recaps are done. And for the first card pull of the game on the Silver Sun, I have pulled the Harvesting Spider. A value of 2. Mysteries, rats, mirrors, and stone. Meanings action, labor, and stealth. Spiders are so many things. Builders, weavers, and caretakers. But also hunters, killers, and blood drinkers. The harvesting spider cares for her young, but at the expense of what she harvests, and that just might be you. She is stealthy and sneaky. Her many footsteps are silent. Regardless, spiders never stop working. They build and create to serve specific purposes. Red magic is enhanced and blue is hindered. We start off this session with not 1, but 2 advancements. Lace, please tell me a bit about your Weaver cell and where you're meeting today, because the Weaver Advancement Sword Ceremony of the 2nd degree, after working with a higher level degree Weaver, you just kind of have an informal ceremony.
Yeah, and I think that they are just incredibly chill. Like, it's like, hey, we should like go to dinner or something like that. It's very much weird group of people. I like think theater kids at Denny's energy
After
is
show.
really what, yeah, after show. Like the makeup is smeared. They've been working all day or doing a show. They're high on adrenaline, but they pile into like booths that are too small for them and order so many potato products, just so many. And I think that is essentially what it is. It's like, hey, Lace, good job. Here, have some potato skins, which is my preferred
Potato consumption.
reward for any accomplishment. So I think it is just like it's not even like they call it a ceremony, but it's just like the ceremonial ordering of the appetizers.
Fucking beautiful. So how many people are in your order again? I know it's pretty small, but I can't remember how many you told me.
I think it's like probably just like 8 or 10. Like,
Okay.
It's not huge.
If it is double digits, it's barely double digits.
Yeah, and I think that probably also because it's so casual, like people pop in and out, so there might be like it might be 10, but like only 7 or 8 are there, and that's fine, and like, you know.
Okay. Since this is very vibey of like a diner, I'm thinking like y'all went to Zero's, which is this bar that only shows up in Fartown and only at night, but its inside changes every time you go in there. So tonight, it's just a fucking dive bar with some of the best food you've ever had. It's just dimly lit. The floor is probably a little stickier than it should be, as you do, but the drinks, banging. The appetizers, banging.
Yeah, and I feel like the bars, like we have, like there's not a signature cocktail, but there is like a drink that we ask the bartender to make that's like a celebration or whatever, and it probably isn't great, but you know we're drunk enough that we don't care. Or at least tipsy enough that we don't care at that point.
If I may like poke in, along with this drink, I feel like, have you ever been to Zero's before? Do you think?
I mean, if it appears there frequently or generally, then probably yeah, but not with this vibe, maybe.
Okay. Because I was about to say, maybe you have the drink called High Water, which is not very good. It's a better choice than hell, the label proclaims, playing off the same reference to Come Hell or High Water.
Love it.
It's a cheap drink, but you get what you pay for. It's standard custom after taking a shot to say, I made the wrong choice.
I think maybe that's also part of the tradition, is like everyone buys the person advancing like a drink or a food item or something, and then so she ends up doing a few of those.
So there is no fancy schmancy ceremony going up to the second degree. It's just a celebration of what you've accomplished in doing a good fucking job. Remind me what new aggregate you took?
I would love to tell you that. I took Moonlight.
So over the course of several weeks, Aria, your friend, made a song, which tonight, it's very lively. Maybe not the exact instrument, but has the vibe of a fiddle. She plops this drink down in front of you, this cheap-ass shot, which is like 18 cents. And she like just claps her hand on your shoulder. Congratulations.
Thank you, Aria.
You did wonderful.
No, you did wonderful. You're so wonderful, and like, you know.
No, you.
You're just
you.
like
You.
No, you. No, you.
Okay, I'm great. But also, as a gift from all of us, and she like waves her arm around at like the several other weavers that you joined you tonight. Probably like there's like a total of 7 of you here tonight. We got you a gift for advancing. This is standard, so no need for all the thank yous. But, and then she'll hand you like a small little box.
It's a box. I love it.
No, inside the box.
Oh, okay. And I think like the box clearly has like a place you're supposed to open, and Lace like puzzles over it for like maybe 20 seconds. And it's just, you know, like, oh, I see. And she opens the box.
And it's just a very simple bracelet with a little charm on it that's in the shape of a crescent moon.
Oh.
To match your new aggregate.
She puts it on immediately.
And we'll keep adding to it. The more aggregates you get.
Such a good idea. Yeah. You're so smart.
No, you're so smart. You learned so
You're
quick.
so smart. No, you taught so quick. Your taught is so smart.
And she just sits next to you and just like waves for another drink.
Yeah.
And I feel like, how long does this go on for?
I mean, I feel like we would push it to like getting to close. I think whenever the least drunk of us is like, okay, we're done here. Like, you need to go home. Let's wrap this up.
Eventually that happens. It's probably happening like close to last call.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then before you all go, Arya and all the rest of your Weaver cell compatriots like kind of like haul you to your feet, celebrate you, walk it out the door, leading you home.
I can walk. I'm a genius.
Yeah. You could probably fly if you wanted to.
I should try that.
Practice makes perfect. Okay. We'll see you soon. I hope your hangover isn't like shit tomorrow.
Bye.
And is there anything else you would like to accomplish with your advancement evening?
Oh, I just think that if you could like see the route that she takes home, you know how sometimes like they plot the routes of like whatever, like a flight aware thing where it's like it's just like, oh look, a bird, and like over there, like it takes her a long time to get home. She's just like, oh, a distraction. She ends up sitting like in a field looking at the moon for like an hour, just like, you're so pretty.
When you get home, your young friend Malvin, the dodo bird who really wants to fly, is like sitting at the edge of the cliff looking at the moon too. He gives you a little wave.
Malvin, I could do it. I didn't even think of it. I could do it.
Do what?
I can weave. I can weave it so you fly. Probably not forever. Maybe forever. Probably not forever. Right now, I'm not very good yet. But a little bit now, and more later. You know.
You'll show me how to do it when you know how to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. I just can't. I snuck out, so I do need to go back home before Mom yells at me.
You should go home.
Okay.
But I will help you. Okay.
He'll run up to you, nuzzle your leg, and then just like go running off home.
Bye.
Bye, Lace.
Bye.
And then do you pass out?
I do. I think it's like on the bed, but like across the bed. Just like
Horizontal.
Yeah.
There you go. You don't have anyone hogging up the bed tonight, cause Shard's been gone for days.
Yep.
Anyway. Thank you very much, Lacey, and congratulations.
Thanks.
You did it!
I did the thing.
And that means we move on to our second advancement, which is going to be Ray. On the Green Sun, I have pulled... Do I have to pull another card? I do have to play another card. You're lucky it was the Assassin card.
Oh.
It's not the best card. On the Blue Sun, I have pulled the Suspicious Hound. Value of 0, visions, swans, blades, and water. Meanings: doubt, suspicion, lack of clarity, judgment, and decisions. The hound stands sentinel, and you approach, but you don't want the suspicious hound to be focused on you. Snarling and glaring, the hound isn't certain of its enemies, but once it decides you are a danger, that almost certainly a bad thing. However, the hound is also the representative of our own doubts and difficult decisions. How does the card fucking know? In many ways, we are the suspicious hound, or at least we ought to be. Indigo magic is enhanced and gray is hindered.
Ooh, I'm really glad that indigo magic is enhanced right now.
You said, did you say, if I recall correctly, you wanted to work with that Estrella on your advancement?
Yes.
Okay. So the advancement of a Goetic is extremely different than that of a Weaver. in order to advance to the second degree, you had to basically you do a whole ritual in the presence of a summoned entity of at least level 3. And the way Goetics are is they are high-strung, very like to do rituals and oh god, what's the word I'm looking for? Traditional. That's the word I'm looking for. So there's stuffy robes and people there watching you do your thing, and then very formal. And you are following behind Adastrea, who is wearing these just long, dark, boring-looking robes with some embroidered silver, like, summoning runes around, like, the hems. And as she's walking, you in a similar garb, just because it's just how it is in the Goetics, she's leading you off to where this is gonna happen. So, do you have any questions before we get started and get the whole invocation set up?
No, I've kind of been here a lot, so I've been reading up on, like, other people in, like, the Hall of Records. People have written about their experiences doing this, so I kind of have an idea.
Okay, so you are aware that when you perform the invocation of knowledge, it's a very lengthy process. It's going to be... Did you bring your scroll of all your major accomplishments and mastery? Okay, did you bring an emotion leaf of pride, which you don't have to pay for? I'm not going to make you pay for that. your emotion leaf of pride?
Yes.
And are you ready to do total 6 hours of preparation?
Yes.
And has anyone told you that at the end of the invocation that you will need to present your secret soul to all that are just say it top that all are in attendance?
Ooh, people did not write about that. I imagine because it was their secret soul.
We will not tell. I actually believe a lot of people will forget. Intentionally forget. But yes, that is a thing that you will need to do to finish the invocation.
Okay. Yeah, I need to be more powerful.
I think you are doing a wonderful job so far, dear. Here we are. And she opens the door for you.
And Ray is walking like very... Ray is just like, all right, take a deep breath, and then walking through as confident as he can manage. Like, he's been prepping for this. He is ready to go.
So over the course of the next 6 hours, Adastrea will assist you with this. It's 1 hour of preparatory meditation, and then 5 hours of other preparation. So that's going to be setting up a summoning circle, more meditating, vibing with what you're going to be doing, and so on and so forth. And then finally, 1 hour of performance where you will summon an entity. What does this 1 hour performance look like from Ray?
I think when Ray knew that like people like performed, and like I think Ray read about someone doing music, I think Ray read about someone dancing, and Ray was like, I can't do those things, and at least not as at least he doesn't think he can as well to like do an hour performance, but something that does take time and skill. I think he had, like, when he was coming in, he had a large box, right? And I think in the to sort of like help activate the circle, he has a new clay sculpture that he bought, that he prepared in advance,
and he has like the ceramic blankets, and he's gonna fire the sculpture in the middle of the summoning circle, because when you have a sculpture that big, you can either fire it in pieces in like a kiln, or you could be a fucking monster, wrap it in blankets and set it on fire inside.
That's badass. I did not know that.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful because kilns, like most people don't have access to like real like large scale kilns. So you either have to fire piece by piece and like do a glue and like try and make it seem like there's no seams, or you can wrap it in blankets and set it on fire.
That's so cool.
Like part of the prep is definitely setting up like a scaffolding, so like he can like stand over it and then like move, and then like in the performance it is moving this thing into the circle, methodically wrapping it with like the blankets, and then finally like setting it on fire and people watching it as it like slowly emerges from the blankets, like this lump becoming a very like vicious looking vine of thorns wrapping around a pierced albatross.
Oh, ow.
Gonna get you.
And all of this is done in front of an entity that was summoned by Adastrea, which is a very large bear-like wolf mixed hound who is sitting in the corner with its head resting on its paws, watching you for these full 7 hours.
Yeah, I think like the scaffolding and like actually like carrying the sculpture is like very physically demanding, you know, going through the motions, and then like the actual performance of firing it, like Ray is like drenched in sweat, but it's very much like a laser focus.
And at the end, if Victor would like to, in character, or just hand wave it, announce your secret soul. If you want to say it out loud for the other players to hear, it is up to you.
Can I have a quick reminder of the secret soul as a concept?
The secret soul is like a piece of your being that there's like a total of, I think it's 13 different secret souls, where
Gotcha.
you are connected to something bigger than yourself. And as a mechanic, you can use your secret soul to get a benefit from that. Usually fairly powerful.
Then I just need a quick reminder of because I do remember choosing that.
You did.
It was super cool.
I don't know what it is.
Yes.
I only have one player's written down in my notes.
It was the one on the silver moon. I was trying to remember where to find it.
I don't know. But it's up to you. Would you like to say it?
Yeah, I think that's cool. I think that's baller.
If you want, would you like me to read the ones off and see if any catch your ears? Or
yeah, that might be easier because I am currently like using the find function on the key, and this is a large document.
Silver Star, the Watcher, the Child, the Lady, the Flame, the Doctor, the Old Man, the Eye, the Blade, the Abyss, the Hammer, the Whisper, and the Dancer.
I'm pretty sure it was the Silver Star. It is the solace of isolation, quiet, and calm, baby. And I think it appears like when I think Ray like snuffs the fire, and and the blankets fall off along this sort of like violent imagery of a sculpture, and like the smoke starts to clear, and like above his head, like because I think he's fallen to his knees, he's exhausted. Above his head is almost like this glowing 7-pointed star, like this full light, and yeah.
And as your performance has reached this crescendo and very quickly ended with this star above your head, the beast in the corner stands up and nods at you before turning around and fading away. And before you even know it, Adastrea is at your sides, holding out her hands to you to like assist you up.
And Ray takes it. He is exhausted.
You did wonderful, my dear. That was a beautiful performance.
Oh, thank you.
And as she helps you to your feet, for a second, you almost think it's your quirk going off. Because whenever you're meeting near someone for the very first time, you like smell their favorite smell in the air, and for a second you think it's that, but then you realize it is not, and you realize she smells heavily of liquor.
And I think, Ray is like exhausted and sort of like and glances up and he's like, "Can I have some too?" Or glances down because I think he's taller.
Oh yeah,
than us.
you're much taller than her. I don't think I actually gave her a height, but she's probably like 5'6" or something like that.
Oh yeah, no, she's tiny compared to him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And she looks very confused. I'm sorry.
Oh, this almost like
And she does
gin.
She does the breathe into the hand. I'm so embarrassed. I'm sorry.
What?
I don't have any on me right now. I apologize.
Oh, okay. No worries.
If we can just keep that between you and me, I would appreciate it.
Yeah. What? And Ray is sort of like, you see the cogs turning, and he sort of like looks at Adastrea and sort of like reaches out like a hand and is like, "You got it."
And she will take your hand and actually just like clasp it with both hands, like very eager, just a very comforting like handshake. She's a very open person, more or less. Just, thank you. That's all we had to do here. Is there anything I can help you with? Anything I can do for you now that you have made it to the second degree? Congratulations.
I'm trying to the summoning with Songbird didn't exactly go too well. So I'm trying to figure out how to fix it, and I think this might help.
I'm sorry that it didn't go well. It's just what happens sometimes and with what we do.
Yeah.
Just like how makers have their mishaps, and other magic gets out of control. It happens.
Thanks. I'm hoping that we get to work together a lot in the future. But if you like ever want to talk about anything you can't talk about with other people, Ray sort of gives like a really just a very like not, it's not pitying, but it's very sincere, but it's also very sad, I you're going through something, and I'm freer than I used to be.
Make me an interaction roll of either if you have anything for persuasion, you can add that, but or comforting, something along those lines.
As a goetic, I have a lot of persuasion.
You can. Are you gonna add any hidden knowledge? Or are you gonna use any sorcery?
I don't know how.
Or Bene? I forgot what.
Yeah, I don't know how a sorcery might fit into this.
That's okay. You don't have to use it.
But yeah, but I think I would I think this would be like almost using an interaction bene,
Mhm.
because like it's noticing and offering something that someone might need, and that gives me a +1, right?
Yes.
All of my dice are still in storage,
Yes.
so that is 6 + 1, 7.
She pauses and she looks really sad for a minute and just all of a sudden just looks much older than she really is. If you don't mind.
Not at all. In fact, I think these things are supposed to have lunch after, so.
That's true. There is some sandwiches and some punch, I believe. Yes, let's go. I know they definitely were going to leave something in the break room for us.
All right.
We'll see if it's still there.
Hopefully. If not, I'm sure we can have some fun hunting them down.
And she'll walk with you down the long halls of the Goetic Hall of Records to the break room, which there are... they've been picked over a little bit. Some people took some stuff. But there are some sandwiches, some cookies, some drinks for you and Adastrea after many, many hours of preparation.
Yeah.
She'll fix herself up a plate, and then the room is empty, so she'll just sit down at the table.
Ray just sits down and just like, oh, like you ever, after a really long day, just like, ah. I think like he sort of like his shoulders slump, and it's not in like a sad way, but it's just like, oh,
So exhausted.
yeah.
She definitely grabbed like a pitcher of water and put it on the table because also the heat probably dehydrated the two of you.
Mm-hmm.
If you could also keep this between the two of us, I would appreciate it. It's not something I've really talked to anybody about.
Hey.
But did you have a nice life in the shadow?
Yeah.
Good. I've heard many different accounts of what people did over there, the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly. But even though it's not real, and nothing that happened over there is real, I'm still trying to recover.
I think that if you are recovering, that stuff is as real to you as anything else. And I mean, it's sort of an open secret that there's stuff that we brought back from over there, not just emotions and feelings, but real things.
Items, yes.
Yeah. And sometimes I think that when people talk about how unreal it feels, it can make people feel like they're talking bad about like things that you might have struggled with, kind of like, oh, if it wasn't real, your struggles aren't real, but that's not really true.
It's just hard to try and get over things that I have done and the people that I've hurt for folks that don't exist.
I
least I don't think they existed.
I mean, at one time they existed for you. But at the same time, just you're allowed to be better. And I know it feels like when we mess up, you're not allowed to do better because you want you might feel like, oh, I gotta be forgiven before I can feel better, or I gotta make amends before I can be better. Like, it's not really fair. Sometimes you can't even do that. Like you said, there's this shadow. You can't see those people again. But like, you're allowed to become better for you. You're allowed to heal from hurt. Just like people are allowed to be mad at you if you hurt them. But that's not allowing them to keep you there. That's not fair or okay. You're allowed to grow. And sometimes it'll be growing without those people. Sometimes it'll be growing past the version of yourself you might have liked and been comfortable with. And you'll mold yourself into something new. And it'll be different. You'll be different. And you get to mourn that. But like, don't stay in the corpse of the person that you don't want to be anymore.
And she'll
The rot doesn't smell nice. Sorry.
It's okay. She'll reach over and just like pat your hand a couple times, nodding. Thank you, Ray. I hope I evolve into that person someday too, and I hope someday I get the chance to apologize for the things I've done. Even if it's in a dream or I get pulled back into shadow at some point, you know?
Yeah. I mean, trying to be better is kind of like doing an apology every day, you know? And important in art and in life. Progress is not linear.
Thank you for that reminder.
Yeah.
I think it'd be best if we both got some rest.
I'm gonna pass out, and Ray is lying because he's gonna go back to the Hall of Records to look for more Blackthorn stuff.
Okay.
But Adistrea doesn't need to know that. It's fine. Adistrea is having her own emotional journey.
I don't know if I ever answered that question, but all of the entities that Blackthorn has like talked to are all on record at the Goetic Wall of Records. So the same journal that you found last session, very similar. It's a book of 16 volumes. Actually less. I don't remember the exact number. It's in the double digits though, because some of the places you can't visit and talk to entities, like the Grey Sun, or the Dark Side, or the Night Side Grey. So you are able to browse those. You have been able to browse those. They're all there in order.
Gotcha.
All right. And before we reconvene as a group, Sophrona, cards for you before we get started. I have pulled 2 cards because the first one was the Adept card called the Hunter, which means I pull another card. So on the Grey Sun, I have pulled the Compelling Voice. A value of 2 Secrets, Ravens, Books, and Flame. Meanings: control, domination, and persuasion. The right voice can command an army. In word or song, the compelling voice bids us to do something we might not do otherwise. It moves us, frightens us, appeals to our sense of reason. Those who master such a technique have a weapon in their arsenal equal to any other. Because the Secrets family is related to books, however, it's worth considering that the voice in question might actually come in the form of written message. The speaker might be an author instead. Mostly, however, a compelling voice is considered to be the outsider of the Secrets family. Invisible magic is enhanced. So tell us what you would like to do.
I would like to cast this advanced spell I have, Vision of the Nemesis. Let me just read what the card does.
Yeah.
I get a vision of what my enemy is up to at this exact moment. The vision lasts for about a minute, and I don't have control of the angle of viewing, nor can I alter it. I only get visual information, not sound or smell. Usually, I can specify at the time of casting who my enemy is. Sometimes, however, I will get an unexpected vision, often of an enemy I didn't know I had, or of someone I didn't know was my enemy. It's indigo, so.
Yes, so that's divinatory magic.
Yes.
Are you trying to guide the vision in any way? I know you said, I don't think you have a specific enemy in mind. This was more trying a way for Sophrona to get another
Yes.
clue.
I am trying to... the general concept that like she doesn't, based on everything she doesn't think that Songbird is the actual name, so she doesn't think that's useful. She does not know if Songbird's at the core of this. So her general idea is that she is trying to find the person who's like the core or like the main driver of this whole like vine problem. However, she does not know who that is, so she can't make a specification, but that's like the vibes she's trying to put into this.
Okay, and how does it look when you cast this spell?
This one, I think she will, because it's divinatory magic and it's a vision, she is just simply, she's in her house, a nice safe place, where nobody's going to bother her. I think it's more of a sort of thing where this one is, again, like all of the other ones, it's a sort of like breath-based one because spells, as advanced spells, are a living thing, and she believes that like it's something. The breath is the center of like of living for her, so spells are like a type of breath that she keeps like in her lungs. Advances always do that, but do have their own thing, but she keeps them like in her lungs, like, you know, like a little, like a specific kind of breath. This one, I think when she breathes out, it will create like a fog around her, a sort of like fog in which the vision comes as like shadows or like peering through the mists, if you will. The fog itself is the center, and the center in which the vision will be projected onto for her, I think. My little cone.
As you breathe out this spell, first of all, are you retaining it?
No, I don't think so, no.
Okay, so you are letting it go. You breathe out this mist, going out into this safe space, this secluded room of your home, where you know you are not going to get bothered by your ghost roommates going about and doing their work. And eventually this space in front of you is filled with mist, and it almost like shimmers in front of you, like when you put your high beams on during a very foggy day. It like reflects back at you. And it swirls for a moment or two before you begin to see things and visions emerge. It's not anywhere near what you were expecting. Whatever you were expecting, it's not it. You were asking for vines. You do not see a single speck of green in sight. You don't even see dirt or trees or tree bark. Instead, you see a white space. It is very similar to almost like the fog that you just summoned forth. And in the middle of this fog, you see a tall, towering creature. Still, its bottom half you cannot see. It's almost as if it's sitting in more fog or water or mist or dry ice. It has a very long head, a long hooked beak of a raven, but pure white, very smooth, as if there are no feathers, closer to a skull instead. In the center of its chest is a hole, and its whole body is almost like smooth porcelain with multiple arms. You see books. You see little balls of flame popping up around it. And it is peering down at something. You can't get a very good look. You only see flashes of movement, but that's the only place you see green. It's the only place you see little tinges of purple vines and thorns. You might know what this is. Please roll me a intelligence check. And if you have any... I think this would fall under... no, I don't think you have a skill that would do this.
No, I don't.
If you have any skills that involve entities, you could apply it, but I believe only Lace has that skill.
Yeah, no. I have codified magic, and that is not.
No, that's like magical practices, such as rituals, invocations, and stuff like that. Are you using a bene?
Yes, I was going to ask. All right.
It will be a fairly easy check.
Oh shit, I can't see that. I rolled 2 for that, right?
You roll 1. It's an intelligence check. If you want to roll 2, you can use sortilege, which is it's just using the raw threads of magic to give yourself a better chance of success.
Yeah, sure, why not?
All right. How are you using magic to better boost your intellect gathering prowess?
How do I think about this? Oh my gosh. So I feel like I've done a bunch of, oh my gosh. How do I word this? It's like, I feel like, oh my God.
I too have, words are hard. I get you.
Words are so hard. I feel like I've used maybe, I kind of want to be like, well, I've just used Eyes of the Overworld so much that it's like, I feel like I kind of want to try to, like, based on just my familiarity with that kind of spell, like, I can't cast it, obviously, I'm in the middle of a different spell, but I want to try and, like, draw out of, like, my awareness of, like, the vines that I know are, like, moving through Fartown and, like, are moving through this little, like orb thing in the middle, and try and draw in, like, my awareness that there is something like nearby, like physically nearby me, that is not in this location, but like this entity is like paying attention to it. I'm trying to see if I can like draw out of that to get even just vaguest. Maybe the vines know who it is. I don't know.
Roll me 2d10. Keep an eye on which one is your magic die.
Gonna be this one because it's fancier. Oh shit. Fell out. The magic die is a 5, and the other one is a 4.
Yes, you know what this is. You never seen one like this because they come in all shapes and sizes, but this is an angel.
Ooh. Sounds bad for me.
And as you're watching this angel looking into what you can it's some kind of reflective surface, which images are showing up. A scrying pool, water, who knows. But you see it reach down, move something, and pull its hand back before the vision fades.
Okay.
That was your vision. I'll give you a second to let you just take that in. But is there anything else we would like to do before we begin to reconvene as a group? Okay.
Not good.
So, Ray, I don't know when Ray is going to come back into the scene, Victor. I don't know what's going on with this. So, can I trust you to,
I have an idea.
Okay. The only thing I requested is that when we reconvene, it's at Sophronis. So the floor is for everyone else on how we would like to continue. Because a lot has happened within this past week in terms of advancements and downtime. I have nothing else planned for the session and I'm playing it by ear, so let's go.
I mean, I think the question here is, does Sophrona, like, share this vision with anybody?
Oh yeah, no, if you're showing up. Actually, I'm gonna be like, yo, can you get over here? Just real quick.
As Aspen is getting ready to go, I am going to look back and say, do you two want to join me? And I'm looking at Osmond and Shard. Shard, who has been hanging out in my home for a couple of days.
It's not even like hanging out. He has literally been sulking with Osmond for days.
I don't know what happened. I don't know why you're feeling so sad, but maybe you feel like making up with Lace. They'll probably be there, so...
Yeah. Can you carry me? So I can look as pathetic as possible?
You're already riding on top of Osmond. Is that not enough?
No.
I will begrudgingly go and pick up the cat.
I really like to think that Shard's, like, usually he, like, rides on Lisa's shoulder, or he's, like, you know, sometimes he is baby, but most of the time he'll be, like, in a position of power. But I like the idea that he's trying to appear pathetic, so he's just, like, lying limp.
He is pathetic. He feels pathetic. So it's not actually acting.
Kian does not know how to handle cats. I'm allergic, and so anytime that I have picked them up, I usually do just like hold them in both hands out in front of me. So that's probably what Aspen does, and like waits for Shard to readjust.
I hate this. Bring me close. Bring me close to your chest.
Okay, and like is super awkward about it, but is doing their best to try and cuddle this cat.
You can bowl a cat. It's fine.
But yes, I will bring both, and I'll invite Helia. I assume that she's been feeling pretty weird since all this is going on.
She feels weird, but she's coming. She doesn't want to stay home alone. That's boring.
Okay. Then I will invite her, and we will head over to Sophrona's. I'm going to bring Osmond too, and the whole time I'm grumbling to Osmond, like, I need you to tell me what happened. I don't know if we can do this again. This cat has been really sad in my home.
Oh, it's kind of a private matter.
Well, think about it, and then let me know what happened. And I'm going to look at Helia and say, if you know what happened, you let me know also.
She nods. She got you. Yeah, Shard is in your arms, continuing to mope. How do other people get to your house, Sophrona?
Well, they will have to figure out how to cross the lake, I guess, first. There is not a bridge. I think there's not a bridge. They have to row across. They have to row across. I don't know if there are boats available. She has a boat, but it's on her side, obviously. So you're going to have to get a boat, possibly have to borrow it from a neighbor or rent one. I'm not sure if they're just lying on the shore.
I feel like there's no idea. I feel like there's a bunch like on the shore.
Maybe, but like you will have to do like the rowing physically yourself.
Can I not magic this?
You could magic this.
You can.
Yeah, if you want to, you can.
I like to
agrees.
Yeah, I like to imagine they're not like self-rowing boats. I imagine people in this area like to row themselves.
Yes.
But yeah, you could. They're not self-rowing, but you can definitely magic them to do that if you have the ability.
If you want to get self-rowing boats, you need to be bougie and in the Quiet Lake District.
Yeah.
Which is very fucking expensive.
Yep. We're not those people.
Fortunately, I have just spent a lot of time learning how to magic, so probably I can do it, maybe. Freedom and infinity.
Which qualities?
You always ask me that.
I do.
I never have the thing open, and it's just
because it's how weavers work. I gotta ask you.
Yeah. I understand.
It is very
Okay,
important.
Aggregate.
You can do it. I have faith in you.
I am trying. I'm doing my best. All right. Freedom. I'm gonna take distance or movement. Movement seems appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Movement, and can I do double movement?
Yeah, you can do double movement.
That seems
You
appropriate.
absolutely can. To just kind of like get over there faster? Question mark.
Yeah, I guess maybe I fly over. Maybe I'm testing it out, like space, right? We're gonna do movement in space to fly.
I would think it closer to like a teleport because you're not getting that height and getting off the ground. But it'll be the same quantity of sorcery bene as flight, which will be 5.
5. Okay. I'm spending. All right.
Yeah. Tell me what happens as you get to the other side without getting wet.
I think there's no one around to see. I assume maybe someone's nearby. I don't know if Frona sees me, but it's basically like Lace just goes, "Oh my god, it worked! It worked! That was so cool."
Congrats! You magicked. You find yourself on the other
Savrana
side.
Savrana just did the coolest thing.
And of course, sound echoes over your pond, so you can hear Lace.
Oh my goodness. She can't actually see out these windows because they look to different other things, but she will open this door for you to be like, what? Hi! I totally lost my train of thought. She will immediately rush out upon hearing you because she has missed whatever the fuck has just happened because the windows don't work that way.
I just did a thing and I was over there and now I'm over here and it was real cool.
So excited.
It was really expensive though, so I'm not gonna do it again.
The cool things always are, aren't they?
I know. It's very annoying.
Come in.
Aspen and/or Ray.
Aspen is going to toss Shard into the boat. Very frustrated.
Hey!
Yeah, well, I have to row and I need both my hands for this, unless you're going to do that.
No.
Didn't think so. And I assume it is safe for Osmond to be in the water here. There are no dangers.
Yes. The biggest thing that could be a danger is literally the sweetest shark ever.
Oh, that's right. Okay, cool. Then I will climb into it and I'll look to Osmond and say, I'll see you on the other side. And very just complaining about it the whole time, but rowing across.
Osmond stays on the shore, waiting for... Wait, or did you throw him in the boat?
I didn't throw him in the boat. I want him to get in the water.
Okay, he'll get in the water. He's gonna chill. He's gonna chill.
He's not coming all the way with me. He's just gonna hang out.
I'll meet you there later. I want to say hi to Bruce.
Okay, well, give Bruce my regards as I'm rowing over to Saphrona's. And then I will climb back out and very unsteady. Aspen does not have what is it? Sea legs. Aspen doesn't have legs. Aspen doesn't have sea legs. And so very unsteadily gets out and grabs Shard and resituates Shard the way that he wanted to be before knocking on the door so that he looks as pitiful as he wants to look.
Open the door. Hi, oh, Shard's with you.
Shard is with me. Please tell me Lace is here.
Yes, she is. She just got here. They're inside.
Shard would have demanded to be held pathetically again.
Shard has been bringing down the mood of my entire home for the last week, so...
I can sense it.
I will stumble my way in carrying the cat.
Okay. Coffee for everybody. Sorry, I don't have tea. Floating. Getting, It's not really setting a table. There's no food to offer. Sorry, it's kind of acidic in here, actually. Like, it's like actually very sparse. Not at all matching the way that she dresses. It's like very bare bones. The table is a functional table. There are barely enough chairs in here for everybody. So that's basically the spaces. It's a lighthouse. It is decorated functionally as if it is a fully functioning lighthouse.
Also, a ghost just ends up walking through one of you every once in a while.
Yeah.
As if not even realizing you're there sometimes.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Lace, darling, I believe that this belongs to you.
You're muted.
I sure am muted. I think Lace turns from whatever she's doing, like she's maybe like looking at something on the wall, just like interesting. And she sees Shard, and like her face goes through a like unsure, confused, and then she sees like the little pause, and she's like, "Are you okay, my baby?" And just goes over and is like, "Is it your paw? Do you have something in your paw?"
No, I'm fine.
And she's going through the toe beans, like just checking for injuries, and is like, "Oh, you have a little mat behind your ear. We need to get your brush."
Are we better now? Are you not mad at me anymore?
Well, you were kind of a dick.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's a baby. It's a baby. That is how things proceed.
He wishes to be baby held.
Sure. I think that Lace, just for the rest of the conversation, is just holding Shard like this.
It's just...
Cats either love it or hate it. Mostly hate, from my experience.
Oh my god, I've been rolling a d8.
You cannot! It's D10s!
D10s.
Well, you're all... Well, most of us are here now. This is mostly just...
Is Ray not coming?
I did not invite him. Because, I haven't spoken since the...
I mean, I understand. I respect and appreciate the dramatics. But this sounds important. And I feel like it may be beneficial for all of us to be here.
I mean, I don't want Ray in my house. It's essentially after everything, I don't want. It's my house. You must understand. I have roommates. You've seen everything that's in Fartown. I have worked reasonably hard to prevent any of that from getting inside of my home. So you wouldn't believe me if I said I don't believe Ray is malicious, but I don't trust any of the trappings to not somehow just, latch on and then crawl off.
Well, I saw Ray the other day in what is the name of the place that I was in that I never remember the name of?
You were near the Hindasa adjustment facility.
I was in that place, the vines and the things. There's vines, by the way. But Ray seemed busy, was the impression that I got. I don't really know what happened, but Ray was like, "I have to go fix stuff," and then left. So,
do neither of you know? Neither of you have tried to find out what happened after the show?
Ray was like, I'll tell you tomorrow, and then never told me. So I was like, probably Ray is hanging out with Bird Friend or whatever.
Songbird did make an appearance. So, in all of their glory.
Gathered as much. Is the intent.
So, like, the plants, though.
Aspen is not going to say anything about what else he saw that night.
Well, anyway, it's whatever it is has already happened, and I am not so skilled that I can go back in time and undo whatever the heck that happened. So it is no longer my concern. It has happened. We move on. I have using some magic. I've been learning some divinatory magic. Very fun. So I just to get to the cut of it, I guess, because no point in wasting time. I have had a vision of. I sought to have a vision of one of my enemies. I had tried to direct the spell to whoever is at the core of this situation, is what I'm going to call it, a situation with these vines, and I had a vision of an angel, big raven head, with like sort of like raven skull head, seemed to be scrying or something. It's unclear to me. Scrying on these vines and placing something. I don't know what, but it is related. I don't know. But I believe that there's like some sort of angel involved. I don't have a lot more information than that because the spell is limited. It's not a very powerful spell. So
I mean, it sounds quite impressive, given you had a vision where you saw an angel. That sounds very impressive.
Very excited. It's the first time I cast it.
Angels are around every corner. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. She's just like talking it up. It's fine.
Go. There's like at least 5 in the Goetic
Yeah.
Hall of Records right now.
Yeah. She doesn't, it's like, it's not a power. It's like, it's level, I don't even know what level spell this is. Level 5, actually. Level 5 plus die.
As you're talking, you hear a very loud on the door. Sophrona.
She can't look out a window because that's not how the windows work. See, this is like, it's like bad.
Do you have a
Or
peephole?
Yeah, actually, like a little tiny pinhole.
Honestly, the peephole still probably like.
It's just like it will be like chest level. Well, not even chest level.
No,
like...
it's still like it matches all the other windows.
Oh my god.
So you
It's like
can't
looking
even
at
utilize
her.
it.
She's gonna try anyway, just because like.
You see a city outside your peephole, and like you out at sea looking back at a big, full, beautiful city.
Fuck. She's gonna open the door really small because she's not expecting anybody else. Just suspicious glance out. Hello?
Hello.
Ah! Shut the door.
Right, like you hear a muffled like, "Are you?" And it's you've never heard this, but like it's an exasperated, "Are you fucking serious?"
Sophrona, can I come in? You hear Osmond.
I'm gonna try to open the door. Well, Osmond's really big. She's gonna try to open the door just enough for Osmond, but like it's like cat sized. So she's
a little bigger than cat size.
Yeah, that's the problem. She it's cat sized. Like, oh fuck. She's gonna open the door enough, but now this is now big enough for Ray to work in, I guess.
Or at least to get a hand, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Ray is like balancing like a really large box in one arm, and then just uses like the full force to like keep the door open if you try to close it.
She's not very strong, so it's
Yeah.
just...
And like he's looking and he's like, I tried to be kind to you the other night. And I have been talking with people and they said I was too kind to you. So this is for you.
Okay, I'm just gonna open the door.
Ray does not come in. Ray's face is set in a very disdainful scowl as he puts the box down. And he's like, till you apologize, it's my final gift to you.
Does it involve any plants?
Not
She will say that.
any live ones.
Okay. Just go open the fucking box. See this?
Again, very, very detailed sculpture of an albatross wrapped up in a vine with thorns piercing its wings.
It's very lovely.
Yeah, I know. I worked for hours on it.
Wow.
Yes. So, fuck you for
Fuck
being
you.
incredibly unkind to me.
You all hear this from inside.
Aspen,
you're just like-
Aspen heads over.
She
I
just
think-
never came back.
I honestly think Lace is just like still going like, and then he said it's just telling Shard the story of what she has done this week, and is like as the voices rise is like, oh, maybe I should go over there and see what's happening.
He does eventually get tired of the babying and weasels out. Especially as Osmond comes in.
I will follow Aspen over.
Ray, I didn't think that you were going to be joining us today. Hello, dear.
And Ray like levels his eyes like over Aspen and over Lace and then back to Sophrona. And it's just like, well, I probably wasn't invited.
Yeah, no. Right. At this point, she's like trying to drag the statue, like passive aggressively drag the statue in, but again, she's not very strong. It's very big, so it's not going anywhere very quickly.
Yeah.
Accepting the gift still.
So
Well, you're already here, and Aspen is going to go and link arms with Ray. Sophrona was telling us about this lovely vision about an angel, and I was thinking that you could update everybody on what happened.
I think like again, Ray does not want to pass that threshold when Aspen tries to walk. Like it is Ray being solid. He is such a big man, and doesn't let Aspen like walk him inside. And he's just like, my friends, they didn't want to be there for me when I was going through it, so I don't see why I have to explain anything to Sophrona.
you literally told us to leave.
Yeah. Shh.
Because you were being incredibly cruel. And
I
Sophrona destroyed my biggest piece that evening.
Oh, well, I wasn't there. I left before that. But I think that might actually be, I don't know. Sophrona, did you tell Lace that when
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. So that's not new information. But how was I incredibly all I said was that I thought you should be careful.
All right. And I was telling you how I had taken precautions, how I was careful.
Oh yeah, then explain the fucking vines that are all over the goddamn city. Still, I don't know how far she got. Maybe she got like 5 feet with the statue. It's not moving very quickly.
Well, when I told my friend that I would have to send her back to where she's imprisoned, she freaked out because anyone would. And so I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to find. I don't have to tell you what I'm doing. I made my
Shard is
statement.
now sitting on the statue.
Wait, who's sitting on the statue?
Shard.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Do you want to come in? Some coffee? Do I even have any coffee left? For coffee or something? Since
Are
you're
you
here.
going to apologize?
No, why would I have to?
If you destroyed something that he worked hours and hours on, you probably should apologize. That's Shard speaking, looking down at you from the top of the, like, probably. How tall is the statue?
It's only about 5 feet tall.
So like looking
it's
at
like,
you.
it's like at
Yeah.
it's above me. I'm 5 feet tall, so like
Yeah,
Shard would be
so
above
Shard's like,
my eye
"What?"
line.
I think Lace gives Shard a look like because I don't think this. She doesn't believe this is directed at her. This like so she's
not.
just like wary.
Shard's
To
all
be
over the
completely
place.
honest, yeah, no, Lace is a side. Lace is like getting hit by like the side wakes of like Ray
Right.
being so
Savage.
angry at Sophrona.
It's like, well,
Right.
It's like, well, obviously this is not going to go anywhere unless I apologize, but also I don't think that I am a strong believer in that if I were to apologize, and it will not be sincere, that is worse than if I don't in the first place. So you will be waiting a very long time for that.
Okay, then I don't have anything else to say to you. I'm gonna solve this problem without you. And you know what? I like if you guys are willing to sit here and have coffee with Sophrona after like what she did, then like you know what? I can make new friends.
It went so well this time.
Sophrona.
Osmond pipes up. You're being really, really bitter right now.
I am being really bitter right
No,
now, and so is Sophrona.
I was talking
We're-
to Sophrona.
That's
Do
not
not-
fair though. Because we're both mad, but the thing is, I feel like my mad is justified. So you know what? Fine, you're right. It's really hard to make friends, but I'm glad it's easy for you. Especially because you're so awful. And I think Ray is just like trying to like grab his arm away from Aspen and just like march off.
Aspen's skinny little arms are holding on so tight.
I feel like all the looks that Lace has been exchanging with Sophrona since we learned about Songbird, I feel like now Lace is just like looking at Aspen like,
Look, okay, Ray, will you just stop walking, please? I really can't. I know that I can't hold you back. Bruce, do not give him a ride. Do not let Ray walk away right now.
Bruce is
Ray-
already gone.
Yeah, Ray stops at the shore and looks at Aspen and is like, what more do I have to listen to right now?
You don't have to agree with Sophrona. You two can sort that out later. We're all trying to figure out what is going on with these signs.
It's like, listen,
Can we not do that collaboratively?
I just want to say that I am mad because I have. You told me that You basically told me that I was paranoid for no goddamn reason. And I feel like there is an actual problem that is going on because of just you going and doing all this without really knowing any, like, what is even going on. Like, I don't know how your friend Songbird is connected to any of these things. We have gotten multiple warnings, and you have actually been not very nice to most of our allies, to my acquaintances, like Drosera. You've been, so I'm just, you're making me feel like I'm crazy, and I don't appreciate that, and it's just.
Okay, let me give you a hint then. There are vines in the city that aren't attached to Songbird.
Yes, I know this.
Yeah, that they don't have anything to do with Songbird. So, again, and I know that there are some vines now that have to do with Songbird, and I have been collecting those. I have been getting them off of where they're causing issues. But there are other vines that are going to continue to cause issues because they're not attached to Songbird, and you don't know what they are. And I was never rude to any of your acquaintances. And so you say that you know stuff, but you don't. You don't know anything.
I don't. That's exactly what I'm saying. I don't know any. Hold on one second.
Are you all having this? Half of
Yes,
you are
we're,
like
like,
inside,
outside.
like
It is like shouting
Okay.
through doorways.
Yeah, that's what's happening. I'm like inside.
Okay.
I'm still inside.
As you are all having this very loud argument that is echoing across like the lake and like into the rest of like the neighborhood, you all see kind of, well, at least people that aren't glaring and arguing at each other. So maybe Lace and Aspen, someone walking across the surface of the lake. And we'll take a quick break before we come back.
Not Jesus walking.
All right, everybody, we're going to be back
Nautical.
soon. Please hydrate, pet your pets, and we'll be back soon.
Please.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello, everybody. We are back from break. I hope everyone got their water, gave their pets lots of hugs and kisses from me, please. Before we get back, reminder. Content warnings include manipulation and body horror. And if you would like to tip us, we have a Pally. I have put it in chat for y'all. Now, before I go back to describing what you see walking across the lake, I didn't forget this time. I have my card. And on the pale sun, I have pulled the swan. Value of 6 vision, swans, blades, and water. Meanings: good fortune, good weather, and latent talents. Elegant and serene, the swan is the companion card of the Visions family. It is a harbinger of luck, and in particular it is said to bring calm, favorable weather with it wherever it goes. But as many someones have said, we make our own luck. In this case, the swan represents that as well. In the midst of a challenge, someone displays a talent, an affinity, or even a magical ability that they didn't know they had. When this happens, it is sometimes called a swan event. This is the companion card, meaning the effects of the last card are the same, so that invisible magic is enhanced.
I love that.
Even before you see this individual walking across the lake, if you aren't too embroiled in yelling at each other over an argument, you feel something else first, kind of lapping and moving forward and back like a wave upon the beach and sand. It's sorrow. The emotion of sorrow moving forward and back, and it just kind of washes over all 4 of you. This heavy sadness in the air, which presses upon you, and you feel it, but it is not your own. And for those of you facing towards the mainland, from whence you came into the rest of the neighborhood, you see an individual walking on the water towards Sifrona's lighthouse. This person is very tall, actually about Ray's height, about 7 feet tall. She has a very androgynous build, but her skin, though humanoid with arms and legs, is the color of charcoal. And as she gets closer, you can see it has the swirls and roughness of bark. Her legs are cloven like a goat's, and 2 horns curl back around her head, and her hair is just a mass of twigs falling to her mid-back, bare and leafless. Her fingers are much longer than they should be, as they are at her side as she walks towards the four of you and Shard and Osmond. And as she approaches, this sadness just gets stronger.
Can I do some Weaver shit?
You may. While you figure out what Weaver shit you are doing, what is everyone else doing?
I feel like since she's from his house, she will just abruptly drop whatever she's saying to Ray. Just abruptly be like, "Hello, excuse me. Can I help you? Hello?"
She's still like,
She's like suddenly very.
She's like still partially across, so she's still making her way over.
Yeah, she will. Just literally yell like this.
I think Ray's response to this and like the onslaught of sorrow is I think he like almost like half collapsing as he leans forward and like almost screaming at the ground, "Are you seriously ignoring the conversation I'm sitting now?" And it breaks into sobs.
Oh.
I'm just like overwhelmed by the sorrow. Sorry.
Aspen was still linked arms with Ray, and as the sorrow started to come, had actually started to move away and like was very much trying to distance themselves from this oncoming figure. And then seeing Ray react like this, I think Aspen, as much as Aspen's scrawny little arms can, like tries to reach across Ray's shoulder and tries to like usher Ray away as well from this figure who is bringing this wave of sorrow with them. I don't know if Ray will go. I don't think Aspen is saying anything because this is a lot and Aspen is a little stressed.
And Lace. Weaver shit.
So, I want to do 2 things, and I'm not sure if I will have the power or the ability to do these things. But as a second degree Weaver, I get something that I can do repeatedly, essentially for less cost, right? That's part of my second.
It costs 1 less sorcery than what you used it previously. It's called a practice weave.
So with the vines in like the first or second session, I did a vision of like origin. Like I wanted to know where they came from, and I saw the world overcome by them.
A magical history check.
Right. I want to do that, but I also want to try and like divide it from the present and like protect us from it.
That's 2 different spells. You can't do both at the same time. Also, what's your total pool of sorcery?
Probably not enough. I just spent a lot. 8.
Yeah, because you can take an action rest during this whole argument to refresh that to full if you'd like. So,
yeah, I'll do that. So I'm back up at 8. All right. I guess the immediate thing is that Ray is clearly
distressed.
Like, in effect, yeah. So I think immediately I'm gonna like try and put up a barrier, and like it's essentially kind of a magical, this is your feeling, not mine, and I can't handle it right now.
So you're trying to put up an emotional barrier.
Yes, but can I do it because Ray would be the priority because it seems to be affecting Ray the most. So like, I'll do all of us if I can, but if I can't, just Ray.
Yep. What are you weaving?
That's a real good question that you have there.
I gotta ask it.
Okay. Quiet from Moonlight. I'm trying to quiet the emotion.
Yes.
And escape from freedom.
Okay. So you want to protect Ray. I'm just seeing what your options are. And what is the longest duration out of your 3 qualities that you have?
short.
Okay. So what I'll say is you won't be able to get everybody because you would need to spend a lot more. But if you want it to work for just Ray, the base cost will be 5, and if you want it to last a little longer, it can be 6 points.
I'll do the 6.
Okay. What does this look like for protecting Ray?
I think that Aspen probably, as he has his hands or arm around Ray, feels like almost a static discharge on the fingers, like a little buzz. And I think that Lace is like very clearly like holding something. And I wonder, maybe it's a redirection. Maybe the cost of it is that she takes double, or like she takes it or something like that. But like there is like a little burst of static electricity around Ray, and then the wave of emotion like ebbs away from them.
Ray, it's this wave of sorrow that was over you is immediately lessened. You could still feel it a little bit, but it's like a regular empathy response instead of this just bombardment. As
Aspen
Lacey casts magic.
Gotcha. Aspen immediately feels like where like Ray had gone rigid. It's almost like coming up for air, like gasping after you've been drowning, and like the sob sort of like softens, and he's just like, "What's going on?"
I'm not sure, but darling, we should probably move away from whoever this person is.
This individual doesn't step onto the sand that's outside your tower, Sophrona. Instead, she's like probably like 6 feet away because she's slowed down. Oh, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to. Specifically looking at you, Ray, with this apology.
He doesn't have it for Sophrona, but there's that sort of like distress that melts into softness. It's just like it's been a long week. We're okay.
I'm looking for a Sophrona.
It's me. Hello. Hey, Darwin. It's Rick, like.
A mutual friend of ours, Emery, said that you and maybe some friends wanted to talk to me.
Are you Varel?
And she just nods.
Come in.
He told me there might have been questions about where I'm from.
Yes.
And that wave just like, not really against you, Ray, but it kind of like washes over all four of you again.
And I think when it does, you probably see Lace like wince a little bit, but she like mellows it a little bit.
Yeah. It's like very tight around the eyes, just very like, hostess, everything's bubbly and fine. Totally not yelling at people 30 seconds ago. Like, come in.
This
come
type
in.
of behavior I fucking hate. Just everything's fine. I'm perfect.
This
I can't
is
do
so
anything wrong.
This is like peak wasp to me, and as someone who has a lot of wasp relations.
You're the type of Sophrona's the type of person right now I just want to like slap him like, stop it.
She's having so many issues.
I love it.
Just come in. You can also come in, Ray.
Ray is like mouthing I don't want. It's just like I feel like finally, like in this moment, like Ray is like movable. If Aspen like shuffles in,
It's like, not now.
Everything is fine.
Aspen, Ray, you would probably feel that Aspen, like even with everything going on, is still gripping you pretty tightly. And Aspen is kind of thinking about this heavy dread that has already been sitting over them, being reminded of getting that phone call of Brady's death and feeling this much sorrow so soon after, who has been like Aspen has been just taken over by how shocking it was to relive that phone call. Aspen is really shaken up in the moment. I don't. I hope this isn't rude. Can you stop that? Can you?
I'll do my best to bring it in as soon as possible, but I apologize. It's not intentional. And it like drastically brings back. It's still there, but it has been pulled back as far as she is able to.
Thank you. And I will probably actually following Ray's lead a little bit more. We'll head back inside.
It's funny. It is much easier for Ray to assume it's not funny, it's tragic. It's much easier to assume the protector versus being protected. Like, it's just like almost flips if it's okay, flips the whole where Aspen's holding on tightly. Ray now like sort of like brings Aspen in against like the sturdiness of himself.
Aspen definitely. I think once we're past the doorway, if there is space to spread out, Aspen will probably step away to like go opposite the room away from Varel, because Aspen is pretty worked up right now.
When you step away, Healy is there checking to see if you are okay, but you do see that she is looking at Varel curiously.
I'm all right, dear. I hope that this will be interesting for you also. And fun fact, because of the Forte ability I took, it doesn't actually look like I am speaking to Helia for an extended amount of time. Everybody else, it happens very quickly. I can have a lengthier conversation with her now, though, without everybody keying into it.
As you're having this conversation with Helia, she's just like, she looks really familiar.
I'm excited for you. I think that she's a friend of Sifrona's, so I think that she might have a couple, hopefully some helpful information for everything that's been going on.
Well, didn't she say that she was a friend of Sifrona's?
She did, but I don't know this friend of this mutual friend they have very well. So I'm gonna say she's a friend of Sifrona's. It's a little. I'm sure Sifrona will be very friendly with her very soon.
Once everybody's inside, Sifrona's just gonna like still looking out. Close the door. Come in. Do you need anything to drink? Does anybody need anything to drink? Right? This is like a genuine, like, do you actually need water?
Coffee, please. Like, Lisa's getting tension around the eyes.
Yeah.
So much tension in the entire room.
Instead of having like her dinnerware sort itself, she will actually like physically do all these things. She will get water, just put it on the table anyway, even though nobody said they wanted water. You're all getting water. Okay.
Gotta stay hydrated. You spent a lot of energy just yelling at each other.
I feel like I should have talked to Varel. It's like, I feel like I should have contacted you sooner. It's just, everything's been so busy and just...
There's no easy way to get in contact with me, so it wouldn't have done you much good. Hi. And she, like, holds out a hand, like, each of you in turn, for you to take or not to take. My name is Varel. I'm a friend of Emery's. I don't know if anyone has met Emery, but he works with Sifrona.
At the Order. Talked to him recently.
Not familiar, but it's nice to meet you.
I don't know why I am here, but if I can help, please let me know. Emery told me that you went to the memorial.
Oh, I was actually there again this past week. Met more of you, children of Emerin, I believe. Yes.
And her face goes really soft with a soft, sad smile. The ladies, yes.
We have been looking into I believe that we have a problem here in Fartown that might be related to. I'm sorry. It might be related to the collapse of your worlds, unfortunately. We're not sure how. I do not know how anything is related, but very pointedly, I know I do not know. But I've been hoping that just anything that might help understand what happened to your worlds. I fear that it might be happening here to Fartown as well. And anything you know to help maybe understand that or prevent it, or I'd be grateful. I mean, I'm sorry for anything. Yes, it just drips out.
She looks at you, and then her gaze looks over to Aspen and Lace and Ray. Is that the case for all of you? In interest?
I think that someone might be using what happened to your half-world to cause trouble here.
Sort of like actually genuinely smile. Like we actually agree on this. Like just genuinely, like sincerely.
Well, what do you already know? Please be patient with me. I don't enjoy talking about this, and if it gets more emotionally distressing on behalf of me, I'm apologize in advance.
Of course.
We know. We talked to Drusera.
She nods in recognition.
I don't know if you know, but was not there when your world was destroyed. We know what this thing looked like at one stage, at the stage of destruction. And we know that strange plants have been appearing.
I have seen them across Fartown and other parts of Sattery. The Topiary district is not in the best shape right now.
We want to ensure that what happened to your world does not happen again.
Well, first things first, I don't think it could happen. What happened over there could happen over here. You don't have the amount of greenery over here like my home was. Yeah, you might lose the Topiary district if it's not under control, but it's not going to spread to the entirety of the city. At least I don't think so. I didn't stick around to study when it happened.
Do you know how the plant arrived?
She nods and acknowledges your question, Lace, but also looks at Ray. I'm sorry, were you also about to say something?
I wanted to ask about whether actually about the table. There.
Yes.
Half worlds, do they all exist under the same sun, or do they exist under different suns?
The half-worlds are technically all under Indigo, but they have their own source of light and sun under there. They are like another world on its own, but they exist within Indigo.
Got you. My question was if you were familiar with any beings that might have come from the dark side of green.
She nods. I think I can answer these kind of hand in hand. The vines, the creatures that came a very, very long time ago, arrived in a small swarm of insects like I've never seen before. A hodgepodge of different creatures, and they were looking for sanctuary. I didn't interact with them myself, but they were looking for somewhere to live, and the king said that they could stay. Whether they're from Nightside Green, I don't know for certain. I don't think it was ever asked. But if I had to hazard a guess, it was definitely not from Indigo, and probably from somewhere in the realm of green. Life, animals, creatures. But yes, it was granted sanctuary.
And to clarify, I don't think any of us except for Ray well, I guess Aspen saw the insects, but I don't think Sephrona and I know about the insects, right?
You've heard of them, you did not see them.
Yeah.
Okay. We just heard there are insects around.
And above the table, Mare.
Yes.
Is there any way for Ray to sort of like think about the interactions he had with Songbird in his dreams and like see if there was any sort of like lie about not knowing how to disgorge creatures? Because this seems to imply that Songbird or something like it years ago already knew how to disgorge creatures. So it feels like either time bullshit or I've been lied to, or it's a different creature altogether.
I'm not going to make you roll for this. When Songbird asked you, it did not know how to disgorge creatures. You taught them.
Mm-hmm.
My time bullshit shit sensors are tingling.
Lace has
I
already
think-
been given a clue a while back.
What?
Watching your face in real time.
Just casually drop that hint in there.
Yeah,
You're
I
gonna
think
need to be more specific.
The writing in the margins of the pamphlet book you found in your library.
Right. I don't know anything about that.
This is a Lace thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you go look back through your notes.
yeah, I think Ray does have something to say after he hears that. And he's just like, that's very strange. The reason I'm so connected to this, and Ray moves out towards the door and picks up very easily without any difficulty his clay sculpture, and before he re-enters a room, or before he like shows it, he's like, please understand, that if this is this might be close to something that will trigger some imagery. Like, I don't have to show you, I can describe this to you, but it will be easiest to show you. Do I have permission to show you?
Whatever you show me cannot... I don't startle easily. It'll be okay.
Okay. And then Ray moves and then puts the sculpture in front of Varel.
I am a little bit on pottery TikTok sometimes. Is this glazed in color?
Yes.
Okay. I had
Table's also very plain, so when you put it down, it's just like shaking a bit.
Oh,
Just so you know.
oh my God! You wouldn't put this 5-foot statue on top of your table.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I was
He
worried
might
about.
if he was like super angry, but you have a guest.
I was worried. I was like, this is a regular ass table.
yeah, the table didn't hurt Ray. It's not the table's fault.
Yeah. Why would you ever take it out in an inanimate object that you might have to replace?
Listen, now if someone had talks the objects like Forte, understands everything.
I was so close to taking that Forte.
Varel's long fingers like reach out and just like gently touch one of the very long spines, spikes, thorns jutting out from the albatross. Slowly nodding. The insects, after getting permission to stay from the king, were turned into these plants. They were very scared. I did talk to one at some point, and they were terrified. But it didn't seem like it could keep itself from growing for fear of death.
I think Lace has gone very still. And I think whoever is sitting closest to her just starts to hear her mutter under her breath. And she says, everything happens slowly in the abstraction because even time breaks down and disappears.
Can I add some information to that to like help Lace sort of bring more stuff together?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ray doesn't hear Lace, but in talking to Varel, says, this is very strange. I know a creature, a person that is sentient like this. And I have known them for a long time, alone, stuck in a place where they were dying. And in those dreams where we spoke, I taught it to disgorge creatures. But it didn't know how to do that until maybe at most a month ago. I think something is really, really strange is going on. I don't understand. Like if things are repeating or if... And Ray's just sort of like putting his hands like on the vines and looking very confused, and he's just like, I'm sorry.
Varel slowly nods. As I said, it arrived scared and was given sanctuary, but then it grew, and it eventually got to our heart, in which it was too late. And
Did it consume the heart of the world?
What was that, Aspen? Sorry.
Did it consume the heart of the world?
I don't know. I have been back there once in my many years in self-exile. And the entity was still alive. I'm going to guess no, it did not. But it's probably still feeding off of it, and is probably what's keeping it alive.
Why are you in exile?
Exile probably wasn't the right word. Refugee?
Space left in Emerald.
There's nowhere to be there. Without great risk to myself and those who joined me over here, like the ladies and Drosera.
All it was afraid of is dying, yes? Sorry.
Yes, it's afraid of dying. At least that's what I was told. I'm sorry, my dear.
Was there anything that helped to fight it back?
Was the king. A mighty warrior in their own right. But it was a rock in a hard place. Against time and against someone who didn't mean to do harm. You seem to know a little bit about the heart of a half-world. You know it's very powerful. I think it got out of control.
And you think that's why it's so powerful now? If we can get the heart away from it?
Probably. But if you do that and remove it, you'll surely kill it. Along with Emerin.
If it's sentient, if it's scared, maybe there's a way to. I know this is going to sound naive. Maybe there's a way to save both.
I wish the four of yours endeavors the best of luck. But my fight is over.
Aspen does exactly what I just did, like opens their mouth and hesitates and is clearly thinking really hard about asking this question. If we had a way to get to Emerin, could you tell us how to get there?
She pauses for a very long time. I can make a rough set of directions.
If you could, I would very much appreciate it.
I'll have to look at my notes and write them down. But I can.
How is Helia in all this?
Sad looking. Hearing about this place that she is potentially from. Still looking at Varel curiously. Trying to where do I recognize this face type of face expression?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a mismatch of sorrow and empathy.
I am going to ask Helia. Is there anything you would like me to ask her for you, dear?
Yeah, ask her if she knew me.
I will take out the drawing that I keep of Helia that Lace provided and hold it out to Varel. And still, I'm holding it like at the edge and extending my arm fully. I do not want to get close to where Varel is for fear of being taken over again by all of that sadness. This is a dear friend of mine. Do you happen to know them? Their name is Helia.
And she'll take like her 2 long fingers and like take it, and she looks at it and smiles fondly. I have known many a Helianthus. They are a bright light on a dark summer day.
I look back to Helia and I smile.
I hope that any questions I had were very helpful. Emery did made it sound like it was urgent, and though I don't understand why completely, your full interest in my home.
If my friend is there and causing harm, I hope to help them stop causing harm.
Might be a bit too late, but I hope you figure something out.
There's still a heart. There's a way to fix it. I mean, what good is advancing and what good is being a Visley if you can't try and make things happen your way?
Out of all the creatures I have befriended in my time over here, you Visley are an interesting lot.
I'd hate to.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask?
Thank you for what you've shared with us.
Very grateful. I think it's all very helpful, actually. I'm very sorry for any pain that this has caused. And if you see Emery, tell him that I'm immensely grateful.
I'll see him tomorrow. I'll see him tomorrow evening at the fighting ring. I will tell him.
Caused him too much trouble lately. So.
He's not the one fighting. I am. So he's safe.
Very exciting.
He's just the bookie.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all.
Good luck, dear.
Thank you. You can leave word with Emery. I'll have Emery use his big mouth for sending messages.
Thank you.
I do have somewhere to be, but thank you for this walk down memory lane. It's been a while since I've thought about it.
If Varel is leaving, Zephrona will walk them to the bluer.
Yeah.
Just courtesy.
She gives you a nod and just begins to walk across the lake again.
And I think whenever you see the tide or feel the tide subside, whenever I assume they are far away enough that it does not reach us anymore, I think you see Lace like relax just all over her body. And there's like there's probably like a little like dissipation of a static charge around you.
Ray does move across the room to check up on you.
I think Lace is fine unless I'm told otherwise.
You're fine.
Um,
You're fine.
But,
You technically didn't
but-
even need to give that self-imposed drawback, but I like it for
But it's
flavor.
dramatic and good.
It was dramatic and good.
we love the quote I wrote down from Aspen for this session is, "I respect and appreciate the dramatics." So I think she's fine. She just looks a little tired.
Yeah, but I think still like Ray would like almost, if it's okay, like sort of like take Lace's hand and like sort of like rubs the top, like sort of like a thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Bracing. That was bracing.
Is that what they're calling it these days? Like majorly upsetting? Is bracing now?
Depends on what type of lining you want to see on it.
Well, you mirrors backed by silver.
Sphyrna will eventually come back in. Like, I imagine I'm too tired to continue arguing about this, but since we're all in here now, clearly, Ray, I would like you to know that there is some sort of angel involved here. I don't know anything more than that, but that is what I've been telling these two. Since you're already here, might as well tell you.
Hey,
Okay.
God.
Yes, that's me. That's me.
What do I know about angels?
Me too.
I
what do
can
you-
just use my new goetic thing about
Ray can
identifying
tell you-
spirits.
Ray can literally tell you any general information about angels.
Love that. Love to see
Yes,
it.
I
would
will.
you
Creatures
like-
from another plane with similar powers to demons, but genuinely a little bit more on the order side of things.
What you also know, and we can just pretend this information is coming out of Ray's mouth. Angels don't have a sun to call their own, but they are very commonly congregate under the silver sun. They work and protect something called the legacy. The legacy is basically is essentially a creation myth of the actuality, and they work to protect that and make sure nothing fucks it up. Because if you don't have the legacy and that creation myth, there are no suns. Everything just goes back to the dark, which is everything outside the realm of the suns. Very mysterious, regular mysterious, not weird mysterious, like regular invisible sun mysterious.
The average amount of mysterious.
The average amount. They don't. Oh God, what was the word? They don't change their forms. They have a static form. So unlike demons, they look like what they look like.
Okay. I would also, I mean, I already have forgotten what the description is, but I would have also described for Ray, and just as I did earlier, poorly for both Aspen and Lace, I would have described whatever it looks like.
Sounds
I
like
I think
an
just-
angel.
this time Lace will draw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause why not?
I don't remember what it is, but it's like
A
It's a
raven
bird.
head.
raven head,
Raven
porcelain.
head
many
seems to be made
arms.
out of porcelain that moves smoothly. A hole in its chest, surrounded by flames, and it was looking down into something, which you only caught brief glimpses of.
Yeah.
Multiple arms.
I'm just like telling this to Ray before anything else like interrupts this. Like, okay, we're dumping this information.
Ray sort of like nods and is like, well, since I have this information, I suppose I can go to the Hall of Records and look for someone who might have seen something similar. Maybe we can know its name, what it's doing.
I still don't understand. I think this is Lace saying, I still don't understand the timeline. I know things are happening differently, but I feel like there should be. I want a chart. I want a chart that tells me when this stuff is happening, or was happening, or will happen.
Just
It,
sorry.
happened there before it happened here, but then it happened. I think Lace is off. She's just like, but if it was happening in all the places, if a tree falls in the forest and it's happening everywhere.
Ray tries to like cut in on Lace's slow spiral into back and forthness, and it's just like,
keep going.
do you think that time shenanigans are involved with this, just like you thought about your piece?
Well, it seems currently more. Safrona looked into the evil doppelganger thing for me, and it doesn't seem like that is a thing that is known about.
Might be. We don't have documented proof, but it might be.
Well,
We don't know.
if it's time, because I taught Songbird a month ago, but centuries ago,
Yeah.
these insects that look just like what I saw show up at a half world.
So, okay, above the table, I had those books, right? And we talked during the break that's like, we're just going to assume
Yes, that you read them. You took a little
read it.
spell that give you
Yeah,
what you were able to read them.
yeah, I can read books in a minute.
Would you like to hear what you received from those books?
Yes, because
I also
I have
want
a
to
theory.
poke in a little bit more about the legacy because I found my notes. Essentially, the creation myth is of the actuality is the largely believed thing from if there is a religion, but if the believed thing is that the actuality is a spell in the midst of being cast. So the creator casts this legacy, this spell, at a certain point of time, and in both directions, it continues on and on, from before and after the spell. And the legacy itself consists of intentionally placed beings, objects, tools, spells, secrets, etc., left behind in order to have this spell cast, so the actuality exists. That's the high level belief. But back to the question about, and that's called common knowledge if you have any interest in religion. But to answer your question, Sifrona, the books from the Malevich Library, there's only like 2-ish, but they're all basically about half-worlds. They are kind of like books/journals of folks that have traveled the half-worlds and talked about what they saw and what kind of half-worlds exist over out in the abstraction. One of them is just kind of like a general list of like, oh, I sailed by, got some glimpses into the half worlds and so on and so forth. Oh, this one looked green. Continued on. The other one is a more detailed account of several half worlds, written by someone by the name of N. Blackthorn. And they talk about each half world in detail. And this one, Emerin, they describe as a beautiful place of green and life, of large trees that go as high as the eye can see, filled with leaves of green and cyan and other bright colors with the sun flickering off them like jewels. The place is inhabited by a variety of animals, both familiar and not, as well, but the main inhabitants are humanoid-shaped creatures in the shape of plants. A majority of them are flowers and work similarly and bloom similarly to their actuality counterparts. So the annuals will bloom for a year before going back to the earth.
Mm-hmm.
The perennials will come year after year, and then similarly biannuals every other year. There are also others that fall into miscellaneous categories, such as a very powerful magic user whose arms ate bugs and animals for sustenance, and those based off trees. with crowns of flowers in their hair. Flowers and leaves in their hair, who were the most long-lived. They didn't have any real names for themselves, like their species as a whole, but
okay, so what if so as far as this time thing goes, when you cast back to the way back session 1, when you cast a divination magic, you know, a lot of people consider it as like, you know, just like scrying or like when you're looking into the future. But divination as a practice is you are trying to understand it as a practice. It also involves the past and also the present, because the three are connected at all times. What if the timeline that Songbird is living in is just condensed into such a small amount of time that now, like right now, is the same for wherever, because, you know, wherever in the abstraction this is, which is fucking fuckery. It's fuckery. Like, she will say that she's so bad at explaining. We're committing to being bad at explaining. Just fuckery. So now here is the same as it was, like, they're happening at the same time, because it's just, what if it's all just like a single point? So like whatever you tell Songbird now is just, it's not necessary. Why is Python updated? I just saw like a massive message for it. So whatever is happening now here in Fartown, and whatever you're telling Songbird across planes, suns, half-worlds, it's going through this weird twisty time, because time is just, however we organize it is however we organize it, and the abstraction does not care how we organize it. Does that make sense? She feels like she's losing everybody. It's like, does that make sense?
I don't know if this is what you're saying, but I'm understanding that perhaps the Songbird we have now is pre-Songbird that may or may not have been on Emery.
Right, that's the thing, because something that happened...
Gilly, you're muted and meets again. Can you?
How? I've not touched it. Something that happened centuries ago for people who are here in this now
Still the
has
present there.
not happened yet. Well, that's an interesting point, because when I did the vision, when we first saw the plants, I did the vision. Mare, do I know for sure that was the past?
You don't know 100% for sure, but after what you've been learning, it's a high possibility.
I don't know.
I don't think I had time to prep any more spells. Not that I have anything useful anyway.
I mean, I can do it. How much does that cost me? How much sorcery does it cost me to do that now?
To do the history thing?
Yeah.
4.
I only have 2 left.
You have another action rest that you can use to replenish your pool.
I can try it if we think that... If I can try and see... I mean, I don't know if it will get me something, but I can try and definitively see the past and see if I can get a reference point.
That's what we're struggling with. We don't have a reference point.
I
Sorry, go ahead. No, the episode was all about me last time. Go.
Aspen very hesitantly pulls out the snow globe. There's a chance that I might be able to. This lets me see something or somewhere or someone that is happening in the present. I will not lie to all of you in this moment. I do not want to use this. But
Okay. Can someone else use it?
I don't really want anybody to use it, to be honest. It sort of evokes a lot of pain.
How many times have you used this by yourself?
Just once.
You're a liar. Hold on.
Ray would definitely try to. Ray is looking for a lie.
I have a
to
level
doubt.
2 lying skill.
Oh,
Do we want to pull a card to see what the thing is, if anyone can see through Aspen's lie?
That works for me.
Lace will try it. Ray was on it first though, so.
Okay.
Right? I mean, like I feel like multiple people. While I may not have a skill in discerning lies, I feel like having to deal with demons all the time, or summoned entities in general. I feel like I would be like,
Okay. I pulled the Messiah. Value of 7 vision, swans, blaze, and water. Meanings change, salvation, familial love. And it's also a defender card. So I'm gonna say that Ray's love can see through the bullshit. Aspen has used it not once.
Yeah, I think Ray sort of like takes on this very stern look, but it's not like angry. It's not like accusatory, but Ray reaches out and is like, if you have allowed yourself to be harmed even once for the sake of someone else, what kind of friend would I be if I don't offer to take up the same to try and understand what's going on?
If it is any comfort, and Aspen is pulling the snow globe back. If it is any comfort, I used it for my own selfish means. It wasn't for the sake of someone else.
That's not
No, it's not. And I think again, Ray isn't trying to like force anything out of Aspen's hand, but I think he stands right in front of Aspen. And is like, you don't have to carry all of this by yourself.
I think for the first time, you probably see a message like that kind of actually getting through to Aspen. And if you're watching close enough, which I assume Ray is, you can see the shift where they hear that and start to take it in and then say no, because this has caused so much pain for them and they do not want that to happen to somebody else. You can see them starting already to regret having even brought it up. They're kind of folding in on themselves, and they're holding it very, very tightly.
Osmond and Helia both pipe up at this. You kind of feel Helia's like, she's still intangible, but you can like tell she's there, like gently like putting her leafy hands on your shoulders, and Osmond is like pressed up against you, and Helia's talking in your ear. You don't have to do it alone. I'm here, and your friends really care about you. Why do you... They care for you. Why don't you want to let them help? I saw you wrecked. That's a very strong word. After you used this last time. You cried a lot.
I'm sorry you had to see me like that, darling. I don't want any of them to feel like that either.
But
We'll find another way.
He wants to.
He doesn't know what he's asking for.
Everybody has pain and hurt, and it's not fair for you to be a big old trying to be hero when you're just not accepting help because you're stubborn.
I'm not a hero, Helia, and you know that. And there's a sharpness to Aspen's voice when they say this. I'm not a hero. This is not something that should be in anybody's hands, and I will not be letting it out of mine. And I think also this is probably the first time that Aspen has taken that tone with Helia. Aspen dotes on Helia and would never be firm with her before this.
She goes really quiet, but doesn't let go of your shoulders.
I'm going to stow the snow globe, and I'm holding my bag very, very tightly. We can find another way to check in on this. If it sounded like others had theories about sort of how to go about this. So
I think Ray looks at Sophrona.
I mean, I could always cast more of my little spells, check in on whatever this angel is. Especially if I get a name, I can more consistently check in on them. But so that's always an option. But until I get a more, I imagine I haven't cast it much. It's the first time. Very excited. I haven't cast it much, but I believe if I get some sort of solid name, I could more consistently check. Otherwise, it's whoever my enemy is, and it's not very specific.
Can I want to take my action rest, and I want to try. Do I have to be familiar with this? This entity has been described to me, and I've drawn it. Can I try and do my magic history thing?
How many times have you refreshed your pool?
Well,
This
this
will
would
be
be
the
the
second
second.
time.
Okay, this is the second time. So if you're going to take any more rests after this, it's I think a 10-minute and an hour. So just keep that in mind.
Okay.
It's no more actions for refreshing your pool. But yes,
So can I
continue.
focus? Can I focus on Burb Angel?
Yes, you can definitely try. You will need to roll.
Oh.
For this. So, you will need to roll 2 d10. One of them is magic.
Okay. First, I'm gonna do magic. It's cocked. That's an 8.
Okay, what's
And
that?
then not magic is a 3.
Sorry, I'm trying to find something super quick. So if someone can continue while I look something up, please.
Ray
Blaze is
will.
You're doing magic.
Yeah, Ray will sort of like look at Aspen holding the bag and is like, no one's going to take that from you.
they wouldn't be able to if they tried here.
Exactly. I hope that you. I didn't mean to upset you.
It's all right. You haven't upset me. It is nothing to worry about.
I can't find what I'm looking for, so I'm just going to pull it out of my ass like any good GM.
Hey.
Automatically becomes canon. whatever you say.
I think it's high enough anyways, because that's a level 5 spell, and you rolled a... What were the dice?
8 and a
It was
3.
8 and 3.
Okay, the 8 will do it in terms of information. However, it's only going to be partial information because this is like a powerful creature. And sometimes when you're against powerful creatures, you need more than one success. So you'll get partial information. What was it you were looking for again? Refresh my
I
memory.
want to know more about this burb. I want to know their social security number. I want to know their address.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6.
You don't get the last couple digits.
Yeah.
No, too much. Okay, I think I want to know if there is like specific lore associated with this specific burb, or if so. Lace kind of thinks that maybe this is a creature that's trying to keep an eye on this whole plant situation, but I want to know the lore. I want to know the deep lore
Okay.
about the burb.
I'm gonna pull a card for information on what you get, because you'll get some partial information. But I don't know what that looks like, so card time. On the gold sun, I have pulled the fleeting moment. Value of 1, mysteries, rats, mirrors, and stone. Lost time, elusiveness, agility, and reaction. Time moves inexorably forward. Sometimes it moves so quickly that we lose track of it. We try to watch, we try to pay attention, and yet it's gone. Mercurially, it slips through our fingers. Time can move so rapidly, in fact, that we can lose time. Look at the clock, it's 6:22. Look again, seemingly a moment later, and it's 8:05. They say that there was once an hour that came after midnight, but eventually it moves so quickly that it disappeared altogether. If that's true, perhaps it's the fate of all time, and the midnight hour will flit away next. To hold. Time is elusive and impossible to hold. No matter how hard you try, it's a force even the gods fear.
I mean, that's appropriate, so I'm not mad.
You can't get a name because true names are straight up just held to each person's chest. You're not going to learn that. What you do learn are some vibes. You know that this creature is watching, and it is poking at some parts of the legacy, but you're not sure why. That's about it.
Is it a rebel burb?
Rebel
Until-
burb.
You just also get the vibe that they are being very careful.
Being careful. Okay. Careful, burb, poking angel, poking at the legacy for reasons.
Unknown.
What I put in my notes was question mark, question mark, question mark. I will tell. I mean, you will see Lace very clearly stop like casting, and goes. I think the angel is poking at the legacy for some reason, carefully, but poking, like playing with it.
Like, do they usually like poke it? Is that not like no? Doesn't sound right. Well, it is an enemy of mine. It's about the only solid information we got here.
But is it an enemy of yours because it means harm, or an enemy because it's trying to do something else and a side effect is problematic?
Who knows? The result is the same.
Also, where is my evil twin?
That I can't.
Lace looks around the room like she expects to see another her appear.
No evil.
Well,
twin.
I feel like we're back to time shenanigans. So maybe your conspiracy theories are not as conspiratorial as
Gilly, you
thought
got
they
muted
were.
again. I don't know what's going on with your Google Meets.
Oh my God.
Google Meets,
Like-
fucking stop.
It's like you specifically too, and you're like visibly not doing anything.
I swear I'm not touching it. I think Lace is like, I'm so glad to hear you say that because I have this portable board that I brought with me, and she kind of pulls out just like the string and is like, hold this for a second. So here, this is. And it's just like a physical representation of all the stuff that we've been talking
Yeah.
about.
Did you make a conspiracy board?
I did, in fact, make a conspiracy
Oh my
board.
goodness.
It's portable.
Did Gilly make a conspiracy board?
Not yet, but I
Okay.
have a week, right?
Yes.
Does anything in the books, in Blackthorn's book, talk about the creatures, like from half-worlds being attached to the life of the heart of the world. Like if you snuff out the heart of the world, is it going to kill everybody who is...
It doesn't say anything.
Okay.
It doesn't even look like they saw it.
Okay.
From the notes.
Well, I think we're all back to not necessarily drawing board, but
I mean, there are drawings on the board.
that's true. Somehow it feels like we know a lot, but also nothing.
I mean, we could confirm a lot by just going to Emerin.
It's true. It's very dangerous.
It'd be fun, though.
Be very fun.
Osmond pipes up. Your friend said that she would give you a map.
It's true.
I mean, the thing to think about is, I think before we go, I want to know more about the time, because I don't want us to fuck it up.
Grandfather paradox it.
It already seems kind of fucked.
Are you saying that we couldn't fuck this up more? Because that seems like
Never.
a really dangerous thing to say out loud.
I think I am exceptionally good at fucking things up past their limit.
Thank you.
But I'm saying that if it's already happening, might as well keep the train going, you know?
I'm not sure I love that analogy, but I don't necessarily disagree, just the analogy is troublesome.
Much to think about.
Ray, do you have any thoughts on traveling through the abstraction?
That's what I was looking to do a couple of weeks ago, and I couldn't get a boat.
Too expensive? Not available?
Not available.
But that was weeks ago. That could have changed.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he's saying it as like a negative. It was Ray's simply saying like, I was already thinking of doing this. But why do you want to do this?
I'm just curious.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, I mean, Ray sincerely says to Aspen, it's dangerous.
Helia, I want to know where Helia comes from.
You won't let us shake a snow globe, but you want to go to a half world. Do you see?
I don't know. I don't know what the dangers of the half world are. I know the dangers of the snow globe, and I would rather not spread that.
Aspen. And I think Lace looks you directly in the eye. Why do you want to go to the half world?
I want to know where Helia's from. You all can't see her. Every time that this comes up, every time we meet somebody who looks like her, there's questions and there's excitement.
Do I think that she is that Aspen, he is hiding something?
Kian, how do you want to handle this? Because you're technically not lying, but it's also not the full truth.
No, but I think you get the sense that Aspen does believe this, but that it is not. Yeah, that it's not the full truth. Because I think at this point, Aspen has kind of shown their cards by asking about the heart of the world, so you know that there is some other interest. But that this is sincere of wanting to be able to learn about Helia.
You asked about the heart of the world with Ray, didn't you? When you went over that evening to learn about pottery?
I did.
Cool.
I did. And I asked you to keep that quiet, and I think William knows that I'm looking, and I asked William to keep that quiet.
Yeah, I think Ray is like the white woman math meme right now. And it's just like, why does this sound weird? And I think he says it out loud. He's like, why does it sound weird when you say that? Like, I don't think you're lying,
but there's something wrong when you say it.
I trusted you to go through the summoning for Songbird. I need you to trust me with this.
Okay.
That was quick. I'm trying to get a cat. I'm sorry.
I mean, Aspen's right.
I think Lace is incredibly like into this, like Ray asserting themselves, like, and then Ray's just like, hey.
Are we almost
Does-
ready to wrap up? Or, because we are at time, or do you have some
Sure.
other stuff to say?
I think the only thing that Lace says is, how does Helia feel about this?
What does Helia feel about this? About me wanting to go?
She wants you to go. She wants to
Helia's on board.
Everyone has just been like looking out, like middle distance. Again, also very like woman math meme, but she's just trying to put pieces together, but they're not really fitting. It's just middle distance. Thinking. That's it.
Yeah. What an awkwardly tense place to cut. I love it.
All right.
I like that each of
everybody.
us are math lady in our own way right now.
It's just a different flavor of math meme. All right. We're at the end of session, so we're going to quickly go around, say, hey, who we are, what you're doing, whether you think you advanced your arc, as well as joy or despair for the session. Who would like to go first?
I can jump in.
Oh, you go first.
Hello, everybody. My name is Kian. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. You can find me on Twitter at uptight_Chiffon. My next thing will be on Sunday. I will be over on Lost Caravan playing Nova. Also going to be super angsty. I'm really excited about it. I'm currently dead in that campaign. So we're going to see what happens. And then I'm also in Lost Caravan's Fabula Ultima campaign. So our second episode is going to be next Saturday. So come check it out. I think I definitely advanced my character arc, asking about the heart of the world. Or Hearts of Worlds. And I honestly, feels weird, but I think I'm going to give myself a joy because I think that Aspen really feels like they protected their friends. And just
Beautiful.
That's me.
I will go. My name is Gilly. My pronouns are she, her. I am Oh, look, it's Gilly with a G on the interwebs. And I played Lace, whose pronouns are she, they. And you can find me on Twitter talking about stuff and things. Mostly today was this game because I'm real hype. But also sometimes other things. What I make for breakfast, Pokemon Go, other stuff, Shakespeare. I talk a disproportionate amount about Shakespeare on Twitter. And I'm also going to be starting to play more solo TTRPGs and talking about them, which I know is a goal that some of the people in the group shared. So it's going to be real fun. Yay!
I'm Gena, she, her. I can be found kind of on Twitter at _Genathan, that is with an E, Gena, then, like Jonathan. What have I done? I feel like I feel like I've progressed because we found information. Sifona does not feel like she's gotten anywhere, but I feel like something has happened. A joy or a despair? That is tough. Well, she feels better having yelled at Ray. I don't think things have gotten better, but she feels better.
That's important in its own way.
Yeah. So apology, like relationship's still tense. So it's weird to call it a joy, but it's like she does
Positive experience.
positive. Yeah, so
Oh, Gilly, what did you choose?
Oh, that's a real good point that I forgot. I don't think I didn't really progress my
You did
character arc
advance.
all that.
Trust me,
I did.
You did some stuff during downtime and some other stuff that contributed to it.
I know things. I don't know I know things, but I know things. That comforts me. So I get one of those things, and then I think weirdly, I think it's also joy because I think that Lace feels there is like triumph in the fact that we are together being confused as opposed to separate being confused. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Victor. I have been your mad shark this evening. I am a writer in the new Mall Kids expansion. We have hit our goal. However, help us pay more people and pay me more by helping us reach the stretch goal. It would be an AP on this channel, and then you could see like my cool urban legend stuff in play. Um, Otherwise, if you want to see me get like philosophical, therapeutic, but completely scheming and mischievous, you can see me on Wednesdays at Miss Lost on the Mandy's channel. Today, I think Ray has made several steps into understanding how to start saving Songbird. So I think I have progressed that, and also I think it's very funny that I am the only one choosing despair. This has been a wreck of a fucking. Ray is so sad.
That's fair. That is fair. All right. And last but not least, hey, I am Mary. You can find me on Twitter at Archmage of Dice. I have been your game master for the evening. I'm in a bunch of things, mostly here. I'm here every Thursday running this game. I am here for one more Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, where we will have the Season 2 finale of our Horizons Call game, our D&D nautical themed game, where I play Acacia, your lovely rogue druid. My Print Weaver game, which I haven't been talking about for a couple weeks, is premiering on the 30th of this month, April, at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Neon Lights Roleplay. I'm really excited. And some channel stuff. So what we got going on is we have a charity one-shot this coming Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, where I will be playing Invisible Sun. I won't be running it. And it's going to be a charity game raising money for the Trans Justice Funding Project. So please come join us for a couple hours of fun, and it's a murder mystery. Let's go. I'm going to play a bitch who had her sleep stolen. So let's go. Ryutama is on Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That will be session 2. On Monday the 17th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, I will be hosting a game of a discussion of Sword and Tea with the creator of Wayfaring Strange, Joey Martin. I'm really excited. This is a really cool system. It's about liminal spaces and liminal spaces. I'm a liminal space fan. Just come check us out. And on Wednesday, April 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, speaking of Mall Kids, Derek will be talking with the writer Matthew on another Sword and Tea session. And last but not least, on May 7th, we have the premiere of our Brindlewood Bay games, which is a pseudo-sequel to the Monster Heart campaign that was run sometime last year. And I think that's it. What we are going to do is we are going to go raid Neon Lights Roleplay, who are running their Frozen Rain campaign. So everybody have a lovely, lovely rest of your night, and we will see you next week. Bye.